"Your Honor, the defendant stands accused of armed robbery and assault." The words echoed through the courtroom like a hammer striking steel. Judge Daniel Reeves adjusted his glasses, the weight of the day already heavy on his shoulders. But as the bailiff led the accused to the front, Daniel's world froze. The man in handcuffs, the man accused of a violent crime, was a face he hadn't seen in over 30 years. Michael. The name escaped his lips before he could stop it. The man looked up. A flicker of recognition crossed his tired eyes. His lips trembled. Danny. The courtroom went still. The air thickened. Even the hum of the ceiling fan seemed to fade. That single moment shattered the wall between the judge and the accused, between law and memory, between justice and humanity. If you're watching this right now, don't skip, because what happened next will break your heart and heal it all at once. And by the end, you'll understand why sometimes, one act of mercy can change a life forever. So stay till the end, and if it touches your soul, make sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe, because real stories of hope deserve to be heard. Back in his chambers, Judge Daniel Reeves couldn't focus. The weight of his robe felt heavier than his medals from the war. A single dad and former Army Ranger, he had fought battles overseas, but nothing compared to the war within his chest right now. He remembered Michael Carter, the boy who once shared half his sandwich when Daniel had none. The one who stood up for him when bullies cornered him after school. The one who taught him to fight for what was right. They were inseparable once, two boys from broken homes dreaming of better days. But life split them apart. Daniel enlisted in the Army at 18. Michael stayed behind to care for his sick mother. Letters stopped coming. Years passed. And now, they stood on opposite sides of the law. The trial began. The prosecution painted Michael as a desperate criminal, a man who robbed a pharmacy and injured a clerk. But something in Daniel's gut told him there was more to the story. He watched Michael's eyes during testimony, saw the guilt, but also pain, deep, hidden pain. During recess, Daniel found himself looking through old case files. What he found broke him. Michael had struggled for years after his mother died. He'd worked odd jobs, done everything to raise his little daughter, Lily. But when Lily got sick and needed surgery, the bills piled up. Desperate and out of options, he'd made one bad choice, one that landed him in chains. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. His own daughter, Emma, was asleep in her room. She was 12, the same age Michael and he had been when they made a pact to always look out for each other. Now Daniel wondered if he had failed that promise. When court resumed the next morning, Michael took the stand. His voice shook as he spoke. "I did it, Your Honor," he said. "I stole the money. But I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wanted to save my little girl." A tear slipped down his cheek. The courtroom murmured. Daniel swallowed hard, forcing himself to stay composed. Judges weren't supposed to feel. But in that moment, Daniel didn't see a criminal, he saw his best friend, broken by a world that had given him no mercy. The prosecutor demanded 10 years in prison. But Daniel knew sending Michael away would destroy 2 lives, his and Lily's. Yet he also couldn't ignore the law. That night, Daniel went home and stood before a picture of his late wife. "What do I do?" he whispered. "If I follow the law, I'll destroy him. If I don't, I'll destroy myself." The next day, sentencing arrived. The courtroom was packed, press, spectators, even other judges curious to see how the war hero judge would handle this case. Daniel's heart pounded as he spoke. "Mr. Carter," he began, "you have confessed to your crime. But I have also reviewed your history, the hardships, the sacrifices, the love for your daughter. The law demands justice, but justice without compassion isn't justice at all." He paused. The room was silent. "Therefore, instead of prison, I am sentencing you to community service, counseling, and full restitution under the supervision of the Veterans Rehabilitation Program. You will work to rebuild not just your life, but the lives of others who have lost hope." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. The prosecutor objected, but Daniel held firm. "This man is not beyond saving," he said. "None of us are." Michael couldn't hold back. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered, "Danny, I don't deserve this." Daniel looked straight at him. "Maybe not. But sometimes, mercy is the justice the world needs most." Michael was escorted out, but that day marked a new beginning. Months passed. Michael worked hard, repairing homes for struggling veterans, volunteering at the same hospital where his daughter was treated. Slowly, the weight of his past lifted. He sent Daniel letters, telling him how Lily was getting stronger, how he was finally living the life his mother would have wanted. Then one day, Daniel received an invitation. A small envelope, sealed with care. Inside was a picture of Lily standing next to Michael, both smiling. At the bottom, it read, "She's cancer-free. Thank you for believing in us." Tears filled Daniel's eyes. For a long time, he sat at his desk, holding the photo, realizing something profound. Sometimes, the most powerful verdict isn't written in legal books, but in the lives we choose to save. Years later, Daniel was invited to a charity event where they were honoring heroes of second chances. To his surprise, the guest speaker was none other than Michael Carter. When Michael took the stage, he smiled at Daniel in the front row. "I once stood in a courtroom, ready to lose everything," he said. "But a single man, my friend, chose to see me not for my mistake, but for my heart. That decision saved my life, and my daughter's." The audience erupted in applause. Daniel tried to hold back his tears but failed. When Michael finished, he walked straight to Daniel, saluted him, and whispered, "You were my judge, but more than that, you were my brother." The two men embraced, a powerful, silent moment that spoke louder than any words ever could. The crowd stood. Cameras flashed. But Daniel wasn't thinking about fame or recognition. He was thinking about a promise made between two boys long ago: "We'll always look out for each other."